Hello friends, welcome back. In this tutorial, we will study about counting sort algorithm. Right? Counting sort algorithm is a sorting algorithm. Suppose an array A of n elements is given to us and we have to arrange its elements in increasing order by counting sort algorithm. Right? Counting sort assumes that each of the n input element is an integer in range 0 to k, right? Now suppose this array A has n elements and each of the n element is an integer in range 0 to k, right? Now we have to arrange the elements of this array A in increasing order by counting sort algorithm, right? For this we will need two arrays, array C and array B. Now see, array A has n elements, right? So and its indexes are from 1 to n, right? And this array A is an array of integers, right, in range 0 to k, right? So the array C will hold k plus 1 elements and its indexes will be from 0 to k. Right? Array B will hold the elements of array A arranged in increasing order, right? So the length of array B will be n, right? This array B will hold n elements, right? And indexes of array B will be from 1 to n, right? Now, what we have to do now? In array C, at index I, we will store how many times the element I appears in array A, right? So the value stored at index I in array C will be equal to the number of times element I appears in array A, right? Suppose the element 2 appears 5 times in array A, right? Then at index 2 in array C we will store 5, right? Suppose the element 2 appears 5 times in array A, then at index 2 in array C we will store 5, right? After this, what will we do? We will start from second element of array C and move to its last element, right? And to each element we will add its previous element, right? And after that we will start from the last element of array A, right? We will start from the last element of array A and move to the first element of array A, and each element I which is encountered, right, and each element I which is encountered, we will get the value of Ci, right? Suppose the last element of array A is I, right? Then we will access element at index I in array C, right? Now suppose the element at index I in array C is J. Then we will store element I in array B at index J, and after this we will decrease the value which is stored at index I in array C by 1, right? It will be more clear after this example. Now suppose this array A is given to us. This array A has 8 positive integers in the range 0 to 5, right? And the indexes of this array A is from 1 to 8, right? Now we have to arrange the elements of this array A in increasing order by counting sort algorithm. For this we will need two arrays, array C and array B. Since the range of integers in array A is from 0 to 5, so the array C will hold 6 elements and the indexes of array C is from 0 to 5, right? And we will need one more array, array B, right? Array B will hold 8 elements, right? And its indexes is from 1 to 8. Array B will hold the elements of array A arranged in increasing order, right? Now, what we have to do now? First of all, in array C at index I, we will store the value which is equal to the number of times this element I appears in array A. Right? What we have to do? We have to fill this array C, right? And in this array C at index I, we will store the value which will be equal to the number of times this element I appears in array A, right? For example, see here. See this element 2. This element 2 appears twice in this array A. So at index 2, we will store 2 in array C. Now see this element 5. This element 5 appears only once in array A. So at index 5 in array C, we will store 1 because 5 appears only once in array A. Similarly, what value will be stored at index 3 in array C? Right? Now see, 3 appears 3 times in array A. So here we will store 3. At index 3 we will store 3. Now what value will be stored at index 4 in array C? Right? Now the element 4 does not appear in array A. So at this index, at index 4, we will store 0. Now what value will be stored at index 1? Now this element 1 does not appear in array A. So at index 1 in array C, we will store 0. Now see the index 0 in array C, right? Now see this element 0 appears twice in array A. Therefore at index 0 in array C, we will store the value 2, right? Now next step, we will start from the second element of array C and move to its last element, and to each element we will add the value of its previous element. So this is the second element of array C. So we will start from here, and to this element we will add the value of its previous element. The value of its previous element is 2. So we will add 0 to 2. So it will become 2. Now we will move to next element. Next element is 2. Again we will add its previous element, that is 2, to itself, this element. So when we add 2 to 2, then it will become 4. Right? Now we will move to next element, that is 3. To 3 we will add the value of its previous element. The value of its previous element is 4. So we will add 4 to 3. So it will become 7. Now next element is 0. Now to this element we will add the value of its previous element, that is 7. So when we add 0 to 7, so it will become 7. Now we will move to next element, it is 1. Now we will add the value of its previous element, that is 7, to 1. So when we add 7 to 1, it will become 8. Right? Now we have got this array C. Now what we have to do? Now we will start from the last element of array A and move to its first element. We will start from the last element of array A and move to its first element. Right? Now when an element I is encountered in array A, when we move from last to first and element I is encountered, right? Then what will we do? We will get the value stored at index I in array C, right? Suppose the value stored at index I is J. Then at index J in array B, we will store I. Right? And after this, we will decrease the value stored at index I in array C by 1. Right? We will move from last element of array A to the first element of array A. And to each element I encountered, what will we do? We will access the value stored at index I in array C. Suppose that value is J. Then what will we do? We will store the element I at index J in array B. And after this, we will decrease the value stored at index I in array C by 1. Right? Now see how it happens. The last element of array A is 3. Right? Now see what value is stored at index 3 in array C. The value stored at index 3 in array C is 7, right? So what will we do? We will store this value 3 at index 7 in array B, right? And we will decrease this value which is stored at index 3 in array C by 1. So here the value is 7, now it will become 6. Now we will move from last element of array A to second last element, that is 0, right? Now the value stored at index 0 in array C is 2, right? So at index 2 in array B we will store 0, and we will decrease the value is stored at index 0 in array C by 1. So here when we decrease it by 1, then it will become 1, right? Then we will move to next element, that is 3, right? Now see, the value stored at index 3 in array C is 6, right? So we will store 3 at index 6 in array B, and we will decrease the value stored at index 3 in array C by 1. So we will decrease this 6 by 1, so it will become 5. Now the next element is 2. Now the value is stored at index 2 in array C is 4, right? So at index 4 in array B we will store 2, and then we will decrease this value which is stored at index 2 in array C by 1. So we will decrease 1 from 4, then it will become 3. Now after this, next element is 0, right? Now the value stored at index 0 in array C is 1. So at index 1 in array B we will store 0, and we will decrease this value which is stored at index 0 in array C by 1. So it will become 0. Now the next element is 3, right? So the value stored at index 3 in array C is 5, right? So at index 5 in array B, right? So at index 5 in array B we will store 3, right? And we will decrease the value stored at index 3 in array C by 1. So it will become 4. Now the next element is 5, right? Now the value is stored at index 5 in array C is 8. So at index 8 in array B we will store the value 5, right? And we will decrease this value stored at index 5 by 1. So it will become 7, right? Now the next element is 2, right? Now the value stored at index 2 in array C is 3. So we will store this element 2 at index 3 in array B, and then we will decrease the value stored at index 2 in array C by 1. So it will become 2, right? Now we have processed all elements of array A from last element to first element. Now after this, See, this array B holds all the elements of array A arranged in increasing order, right? So here we have arranged all the elements of array A in increasing order, right, in array B by using counting sort algorithm.